Hey, what's up, guys? It's Duncan Allen here. I'm with Jamie Hanks of I Declare War, and you're watching Blank TV. So I got Jamie Hanks here. You've been playing in I Declare War for a couple years now, correct?
Yeah, 8 or 9 years at this point. It's been a while.
Nice. And you took over when the first singer left. That was in 2011, 2012. When was that?
I think it was 2000, the end of 2011, or the beginning of 2011. Yeah, right around there. It's been a long time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when you came in, was there other members that kind of left when the old vocalist came in, or how's the lineup like been from then until now?
Oh, I mean, it's a total revamp at this point. We've had a handful of live member changes over the years, just due to people just kind of getting tired of doing it. We had a couple guys that got married and just got sick of doing it. They just couldn't. You don't really make a whole lot of money doing it, so you can't really support yourself and support your significant other, and still expect to tour in a van for 6 to 8 months of the year. I am lucky enough that I have been given the opportunity to be able to do touring and come home to a job every single time that I really appreciate and makes me pretty decent money when I'm at home. So I've had that opportunity, but yeah, handful of guys. They quit through getting married. They just got sick of touring. Honestly, I'm not overly easy to get along with sometimes, so I'm sure that might have something to do with it too. I won't deny it.
I'm actually in a band with Jamie, and I'm going to say that that's not true at all. He's really easy to get along with. But by the way, one thing I've noticed big time with you and the evolution of I Declare War is how you're changing your whole mentality about how the whole business model of the music industry is going. As far as like not only just like members, but like changing which tours you get on. You're kind of being like more selective and it's not really all about just being on the road 24/7 because that's really not really something that can be a lifelong sustaining thing. And if you really want to enjoy life at home and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not married, but I might as well be married. I've been with my girlfriend, my long-term girlfriend, for 12, 13 years now. So I definitely had to make some decisions too in my life where I had to decide how serious do I want to take this, and a lot of that just kind of came down to I think that I need to make better decisions in the tours that I choose and the financial decisions that I make, because I used to just tour nonstop, and a lot of that was just because I just wanted to tour nonstop. It wasn't benefiting me at all though, because we'd come home, none of us would have the ability to work because we basically jump into another tour right afterwards, and it would eventually start to add up, and burn us in the long run, because guarantees and stuff like that don't really add up that well when we're touring nonstop and we're maybe a support slot or something like that. So instead, we'll do a couple tours a year where we're actually sought out and wanted, and we can get some better guarantees out of it, and then we can still come home and we can work real jobs and be legit human beings about it. I over the last soon to be 2 album cycles, we're right about to release another EP coming up here in the fall. We decided to go fully independent, fully DIY. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that we just saw the way the music industry was going, and seeing a lot of my friends' bands that are signed to record labels, and even seeing some guys that I know that I'm good friends with that work in the record label industry, seeing the way it's going, and seeing the fact that 360 deals are kind of the standard nowadays. Where
what's a 360 deal?
So a lot of people do ask this question. A 360 deal essentially is all of your rights to all of your catalog are given to a record label, including a lot of the time merch rights, and merch rights including while you're on tour. So I can't do that. I don't see how anybody could ever do that, even if you're on a Sony or something like that, where you have a starting bonus of like $1 million, you're still basically going to give up everything that you made for all that time and effort to just some random people that didn't do the work. And I can't do that for me. I can't let any of my guys have to deal with that sort of a burden either, because we don't come home with a lot of money, but we need to come home with something every time. 2 weeks to a month being gone is still 2 weeks to a month being gone, and that's rent for a lot of people.
It is.
So
and
it's super important.
One thing I keep noticing is how you keep saying like my guys and like my people, and it's really cool to hear that, because when you got like such a tight knit group and stuff, and the way it is with the music industry and how much money there is, it's like it's important that you actually are like a family, and you actually pick the right people to make the right decisions with you, because it's like precious the time that you have, and you can't lose members over dumb things, and
right.
But you got to really value them and like give. It's kind of like almost like an employer,
Yeah.
Like if you treat everybody
Sort of.
right. I mean, in the sense like if you treat everybody right and take care of them, they're going to do like the best job they can. But if you're just not treating them as your guys or your people, it's just going to be like
yeah. I mean, I say my guys because that they're like my family.
Yeah.
Even our merch guy. We've had our merch guy for 6 years now, and John, our main guitar player and other main songwriter, he's been with me for 7 years. I mean, those two guys have been with me the longest, and Greg and Garen are basically hired gun full-time members. They're like second family to me, and I understand that they probably wouldn't stick around if I didn't take care of them. And in the past, I've worried about that kind of stuff, because we have been broke, and we had to make some financial decisions that basically said like, we can take this tour, we're not going to make any money, or we can just not tour and we can make money. And a lot of time we would decide to do the tour just to do the tour, and it really burnt us. And I think about those guys first, and them being the priority, even when it comes to like paying people that aren't in the band. Like my band comes first, and I think that a lot of people kind of might not like hearing that, but it is what it is. They're the most important thing to me.
That's awesome, dude. And also, as far as like 2019, when it comes to like physicals and digital, like what do you think the future is? Do you think like we're gonna go to like this area where it's just streaming and vinyl? Are CDs gonna be a thing anymore? I'm kind of curious, because I always like to like ask fellow musicians and like or just musicians in general or people.
So I've been thinking about it a lot. The last release we did, we released initially. I think we released like 1,000 physical CD copies of our last record, and that was our first independent record. I put it on TuneCore. I built the record. I did all the CD, the jewels and all that jazz. This time I think I'm going to do maybe 300 CDs, just because I don't remember the last time I personally bought a CD, and I'm still a music collector.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if I'm not buying them, and I still go to record stores and I buy physical records, most of the time it's vinyl, and I still collect tapes randomly. I don't know why I jumped from the really old to.
I mean, like he's got some here.
Yeah. See, they're great. What I want to do is I want to do about 300 CDs, and then I'd like to do a 10-inch vinyl release and a cassette release, just because I feel like people are purchasing those things right now. Maybe do a limited cassette release, because they're not as hot right now as a vinyl release, but people seem to really appreciate a vinyl record, which I 100% do too. You can actually see the album artwork, you can read everything. And it's not just going to end up in your truck where it's going to just
get scratched. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
So I have a question from Josh M. from Albuquerque, and he's asking if there's a band, any band from any era that you want to tour with, guys are dead or alive, doesn't matter. If there's a band that you think your band can tour with, what band would that be?
Shit, man. I mean, there's a lot of bands out there that I'd love to tour with. I think a lot of it is kind of based on, at this point, what I feel like would be a best scenario for us. like I've toured with a lot of great bands over the years that have really, really benefited us and have helped us over the long run. Like we toured with Whitechapel and Acacia Strain and Thyroid is Murder right when they were kind of starting to blow up. But if I had to pick a single band that I would love to tour with, granted it's probably not going to benefit me a whole lot. I mean, Metallica would probably be the number one, and then I'd also love to tour with Meshuggah, but I don't think that would necessarily benefit us a lot because we're cavemen up there, and cavemen don't usually listen to Metallica and stuff like. I guess they do, but
I think every musician would say Meshuggah. Like, if you're in the heavy scene in any type of music, I think that every person would say Meshuggah they want to play with at some point, or Deftones. Usually that's like two big ones. Like those are two big ones.
Yeah. I think Obscene, in my opinion, Obscene is the heaviest record ever written. It's Lethargica is never that song has never not given me chills when I'm lifting weights or even just like walking around. That the break in that song is the most devastating thing I've ever heard, and that record still makes me so happy.
You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. All right. Let me think here. So, what are the rest of your plans for 2019? And what have you done for the previous couple months? We're like almost halfway through the year right now.
So far, the process of writing has just been long and kind of drawn out for us. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we do all work, and we put ourselves into a situation where, since we are a DIY band, we don't need to set ourselves on like a strong, staunch deadline. And thank God for that, because we don't really work very well on deadlines, anyways. We've basically just been writing the whole time, and upcoming September, we have a couple dates in the United States that we're going to do. It's mostly on the West Coast. Sorry, guys. And then at the end of 2019, we're going over to Europe for 2 weeks. So it's mostly Eastern Europe, not quite Russia, but like Czech Republic and stuff like that, which is a place that I just absolutely love being.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. For the new record, can you tell us anything about that, or is there like?
Sure. I mean, it's faster. It's significantly more technical than the last record that we wrote. Last record we wrote, we wanted to be a lot more groovy and kind of down tempo, heavy. And this record, we just wanted to write. It's not even a record; it's an EP.
Yeah.
We wanted to write 5 just like balls to the walls, fast, slamming, brutal songs, and I really think we did a good job of it. I'm really excited for everybody to hear it.
Where'd you guys record it at?
John, the guitar player, John Winters, he has recorded everything.
Oh wow.
Garen Howe, he's our long-term drummer. He recorded drums. John recorded all the instruments, and I'm currently heading in with Taylor Danley to record vocals here in the next couple weeks.
Nice, awesome. All right, well, thank you, Jamie Hanks of I Declare War. This is Duncan Allen, and thanks for watching Blank TV.